सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीर्यते नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण नामिने Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Caitanya Charitamrita. All of you devotees know Chaitanya Charitamrita. So there are three major scriptures. And as it has been explained, there is the foundation, which is Bhagavad Gita. Then more advanced is the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then most advanced is the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Bhagavad Gita, song of God, these are the words spoken by Krishna, instructions by Krishna. Then we have, so Bhagavad Gita ends with Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshishyami Masaja. So all these instructions that Krishna gives Arjun dovetails into this. Abandon all varieties of dharma. Surrender unto me. Then it is the next step. Once we have the foundation, who I am, who is Krishna, the five main themes of Bhagavad Gita, Prakriti, Ishvara, Kala, Karma, Jiva. When that strong foundation is there, you come to understand about Krishna. So these are words of Krishna. Then about Krishna, more details about Krishna. Krishna as the person. So there are so many pastimes through the Bhagavatam about Krishna and his pastimes and his devotees. So that is Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, as a practitioner is progressing over here then it comes to the culmination, which is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Charitamrita is Krishna himself comes in the role of a devotee. See how beautiful that is. So here the foundation is to reawaken that dormant love for Krishna, bhakti. So there's the foundation course, there's a little advanced, and then Krishna himself comes to teach how whatever we have learned, whatever we understand, whatever our realizations are from Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, how to become a devotee, how to surrender. So that is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Of course, it is a very, very esoteric topic. Uh, and for that, one needs to go through this basic foundations. The mood of God, the song of God, Bhagavad Gita. And next is about God and gods. And here, the mood of God. So this has, the Chaitanya Charitamrita has three divisions, three sections about the biography, pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, who has come here to teach all of us how to reawaken that dormant love for God. Hare Krishna. Adi Lila is the initial period, Madhya, the middle, and finally the end pastimes. We are currently on Adi Lila. So Adi Lila lays the foundation, the tattva of Krishna. And presently, chapter 4 is talking about the reasons of Mahaprabhu's advent, why he comes here. And of course, each one of us has been now in the movement for some time. There may be some who are fairly new, and there may be some who have been for several years, maybe even several decades. Whatever be the case, we have some understanding. Basic understanding is there. Who I am, who is Krishna. So that is already established. We don't need to go into those details. Hare Krishna. So what we will understand now is why is it that Mahaprabhu is Mahaprabhu? Why is Mahaprabhu Mahaprabhu? What is the whole purpose? Why does Krishna come in this form? There are many avatars, Hare Krishna. There's Dev, there's Lord Rama, Varaha Dev. There are many, Dasha avatars. And of course, there are so many more that we don't even know. Krishna has unlimited names, forms, pastimes, unlimited. You can't count them. What we have put is classified into even just these 10. This, those are avatars. However, Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's not an avatar, he's an avatari, he's Krishna himself. That's one thing we need to understand. Now, if we rewind a little bit behind, dear devotees, there is Krishna, correct? And Krishna is the Shaktiman, the energetic, and he has many energies. Shakti. Shakti and Shaktiman. The possessor of these energies is called Shaktiman, the one who is the possessor of energy. Now, Krishna's energy has three classification. There is the internal energy, the external energy, and between the internal and external, there is the marginal energy. Of course, from Krishna's point of view, it's all the same. But for us, when we are understanding this, there are these three classifications of energy. Now, we, Jivatma, any living entity, whatever form it may be in, human form, cat form, plant, fish, whatever, microscopic amoebas, bacteria, doesn't matter. Whatever form it take is coming in this marginal category known as Jiva Tattva, Atma, soul. So we are the marginal. Then there is the other category called the material energy. And there is the internal energy. Now, each of these energies have certain qualities. Now, two of these are considered to be spiritual. That is the internal energy and the Jiva Tattva. The marginal energy are considered to be spiritual. And the material energy is considered to be inferior. So there is the superior energy and there is the inferior energy. So this is how it is laid out. Now, the jiva has the option or the choice to either be connected to the spiritual internal or to be connected with the material inferior. That is the choice the jiva has. Now, the internal energy is further classified into three types. There is the sambandh. I'm sorry, there is the pleasure potency. There's samvit, okay? Then samvit is where um, uh, chit, the all-knowing, that is Krishna. Then there is the samvit, Sandhani. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. There is the Sandhani, that is Lord Balram, the uh, eternality aspect. And then there is the happiness, pleasure potency, that is Ladini, who is Radharani. So there are these three categories. And then you have the Jiva, and then you have the material. So Jiva has this choice, as what we said earlier. Now, this pleasure potency, which is embodied, Radharani, is that Ladini Shakti. Correct? So actually, Krishna and Radharani are one. And for the pastimes and the pleasure to give and receive experience pleasure, it's like explained they're one stem of a lotus flower, which then branches into two. So it's actually Krishna or Radharani is the feminine form of Krishna. He is the original Purush. There's only one Purush, Krishna. Correct? So now this is Radharani and Krishna, and this is where the pastimes and the exchanges are happening. So this is how reality is set up. Now, when the jiva is connected with the superior energy, because the jiva is spiritual in nature, and so also is the three potencies. So also are the three um, divisions. They also are spiritual. When the jiva is connected over there, it is in its natural condition because spiritual and spiritual. Like you and I are creatures that require air to breathe. So when we are in an environment where there is air to breathe, we are in a natural condition. The fish natural condition is water. If you take the fish out of water, it is in a very uh, traumatic condition. Same way for the jiva, a spiritual entity, to be in a material condition is out of balance, out of sync, just like a fish is out of water. Hare Krishna. Now, what if we understand this? This is the background. Now, Krishna and Radha Rani, they're having pastimes. Now, Krishna is all knowing. Krishna is all knowing. Past, present, future, everything Krishna knows. correct? All-knowing, Radha Rani, Krishna is wondering, what is it there in me that attracts Radha Rani so much? What is the taste of the rasa, these exchanges that we have? What is the mellow that she is experiencing? So think about it. God who knows everybody and God who knows everything is wondering about this point. And it is for that reason. He has two reasons, the external and the internal reason. External reason is to propagate the Yuga Dharma through the process of chanting, how one can develop love of God. So he comes here to teach. He comes as a devotee to teach all of us and distribute this to everyone. And then he's also at the same time experiencing Radharani's, what Radharani is experiencing. Hare Krishna. So, with this in the background, we'll get into a little bit more details. Hare Krishna. So, uh, text, if you go a little bit ahead, text 55 is Radha and Krishna, one soul in two bodies, now united in one form as Lord Chaitanya. So his external reason was to propagate Sankirtana, dear devotees. An internal reason, to summarize, is to taste Radharani's love and relish his own sweetness through her eyes. The very word Krishna means all attractive. Krishna attracts everyone. Everyone is attracted towards Krishna. And he is attracted to Radharani. See how beautiful this is. To taste Radharani's love and relish his own sweetness through our eyes. So, what has Prabhupada said in a lecture in Mayapur? Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, but he appears as a devotee to teach us how to love Krishna. Very easy to understand it is like if, those of you who cook, and if you make a preparation, correct? And you have fed it. So let's say that you cooked a Sunday feast for 100, 200, 300 devotees. You cooked that, you made the bhoga offering, everything is done. Now, you're the one who's done everything, but you also want to taste it, how others would be, how others would relish that. Hare Krishna. So similarly, Krishna desired to taste himself through Radha Rani. Hare Krishna. So now if you look at it, how it starts building up. One is what we can understand is there are three things which only Radha Rani can do. So he wants to understand what is that greatness of Radha Rani's love, how it overpowers even Krishna. In fact, we have heard this many times. If Radha Rani makes a proposal to Krishna, he cannot refuse it. Actually, Prabhupada said, we in this movement, we worship Krishna because we are followers of Radharani. Radharani loves him, and so we worship him. So we are the servants of the servants of the servants of the servants of Radharani. So to understand what is that greatness of Radharani's love, then, as explained before, experience his own sweetness as she does. Hare Krishna. And then finally, the happiness she gets in loving him. So, again, going back to Prabhupada's uh, lectures on Adi Lila, Krishna cannot understand the pleasure that Radharani feels by serving him. Therefore, to experience that love, he becomes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna. Now, to taste his own sweetness. So, his beauty, Krishna's beauty, captivates everybody, including himself. his flute, his smile, everything, his bending form, his color, everything is charming. There is that Madhuram bhajan, he's so sweet. Everyone is attracted to uh, Krishna. And then he's looking when Radharani is beholding him, and Radharani sees him. What is that she feels? Hare Krishna. Gopis, they curse Brahma. What do they curse Brahma? That you done it imperfectly, your creation, because these eyelids blink. Now, when eyelids blink, we don't even notice it. It's a reflex action. They, the moment we open our eyes, we start blinking till such time we go to sleep. So these eyes are always blinking. So actually, what is blinking? It is shutting your vision for a fraction of a time. How much is a blink if you actually measure it? What is the blink? Nothing. We don't even realize it. We are blinking. But the gopis, they are in a manner chastising Brahma, Lord Brahma. They're saying, what kind of a creator are you? You have made these eyelids which are blinking, and it's taking away that time, that fraction of a time when we are getting darshan of Krishna. Hare Krishna. So this is what a gopi, and all that intensified is Radharani. So this is what gopis feel. There are five rasas, the four predominant ones, not the Shanta, the four predominant ones where there is the reciprocation. There is Dasya, Sakhya, parental, finally conjugal, gopis. That is the highest. And in that highest, Radharani is the highest. So that is what Krishna is bewildered. What is it, Radharani? Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada is explaining the highest perfection of vision is to see Krishna everywhere. The gopis' eyes are perfect because they see Krishna always. They cannot even tolerate blinking. And this situation to see Krishna everywhere is possible even for conditioned persons like us. It's not to say we'll become gopis. There are these cheap imitators, sahajyas. They imitate the gopis, what love gopis have. The men dress up in saris, they dress up as gopis. But that is very cheap. Jayadvaita Swami was asked, what is the difference between imitation and following in the footsteps? You hear this a lot. Follow in the footsteps of Mahajan, follow in the footsteps of a devotee, follow in the footsteps of a Vaishnav. What does it mean to follow in the footsteps? So, imitation is when we copy, we mimic the form, the external. That is imitation. So, there's this very famous Bollywood actor, correct? And that actor wears a bracelet, and that bracelet has some blue color stone. Of course, he's a very, very wealthy man. It must be some very precious stone. And you see him wherever he goes, he's wearing that bracelet. And there are photos of him. So all his fans, the male fans, they also start wearing that bracelet. And that, okay, now I'm like him. Hare Krishna. Or they'll copy a hairstyle or something. That is imitation. Imitations don't last. After a while, you'll get fed up of it and you'll go away. However, when you're following in the footsteps, what Maharaj says is when you are following the instructions. Vaishnavas have given instruction, the Guru gives instruction, Prabhupada has given instruction, the Parampara has given instructions. Obedience to that instruction is following in the footsteps. Hare Krishna. So, this is what we should keep in mind, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Another thing about Krishna's beauty is it's always fresh. On the Battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna was about 125 years. But if you see any picture of Krishna, you see any deity of Krishna, he's like a young teen, maybe around 16, 17 years of age. So Krishna doesn't, how do you say, he's always fresh. You and me in this material body, which is always changing, that is the nature of the material energy. It is always changing. When we were little, you get older, you reach your old age, the skin, gravity starts pulling the skin down, correct? The hair goes low tide on the hairline and high tide around the waistline. So many things happen, can't hear properly, the voice trembling, it becomes, energy dwindles. But that's not with Krishna. Krishna is always fresh, always fresh. Hare Krishna. So, again, I'll refer to many of the lectures of Srila Prabhupada. He says in this lecture in New York he had given, although Krishna is the enjoyer of all rasas, he cannot taste the limit of his own sweetness. That is reserved for Radharani. So Krishna, the all attractive, becomes attracted by his own attraction. And this curiosity leads him to manifest as Shri Gauranga. Hare Krishna. Now we have the topmost devotee. Who is that? Srimati Radharani. There's bhava, feelings. And then there is Mahabhava. Maha means great. Hare Krishna. So Radharani's love, it is Mahabhava, is pure, very humble, ever increasing. By definition, love is not static. It's ever increasing. And by definition, love is selfless. There are three things which qualities of love. Otherwise, it is lust. Love is always unconditional. It's not that if you do this, then in return, I will love you. Unconditional, unmotivated. Usually, we need motivation to do something. If you have to get up early and go to work, there is that motivation of money that I will get something. But in love, there is no motivation and it is uninterrupted. It doesn't mean that, oh, because I couldn't fulfill some need or you couldn't fulfill some need of mine, it breaks up. Uninterrupted. That is what love is. Hare Krishna. So, and Radharani is the topmost lover of Krishna. Krishna can't be conquered by anything. Krishna conquers everything. Krishna captivates everything. What is it that we think about it, dear devotees? What is it that we, tiny, insignificant, conditional entities here in this situation that we are in the material world, whoever we be, what is it that we can give Krishna? What? Nothing. If we think we are giving time to Krishna, that, oh, okay, I get up in the morning, I do my japa, in a day I'm doing about, 5, 6 hours of engaged in devotion, whatever we may be, that time is also not ours. The capacity that we have is not ours. Capability that we have is not ours. The body that we have is not ours. Our soul is also not ours. Our soul is a part and parcel of Krishna. Think about this. What is it that you can give Krishna? The proprietor of everything, the controller of everything. What can you give him? Nothing. There's nothing in our capacity to give Krishna anything. We can only take. But love is giving, it is selfless. Love is only giving. So this becomes a paradox. When my position is only to take, how can I give anything? Hare Krishna. So my Gurudev Radhanath Swami explains what we can do to please Krishna is we have this free will, the choice that we make. And through that free will, our thoughts, words, deeds, the choices that we make, the decisions that we take to engage in serving Him. And that is what pleases Him. In fact, even this free will is given by Him. But how to use it, He leaves it up to you. Krishna never interferes with anyone's free will. He'll never do that. Again, why? Why doesn't Krishna interfere with the free will? It's because it's only out of choice can a person love another. You can't force anyone to love you. I mean, out of fear, people may make a show of love. A powerful person says, you either love me or I will kill you. So people will go through the motions of loving that powerful person out of fear. But that's not love. Love is a choice. So in the spiritual world, this is spontaneous. This love is spontaneous. I mean, you don't have to do anything. We are spontaneously, it doesn't even cross anyone's mind. Everyone loves Krishna and their rasa, whatever it is. In this material world, because we are in an unnatural state, because we are conditioned, that spontaneity is covered up. It's covered up completely by lust. That lust is the intense desire to gratify our own senses. And this whole process of bhakti, this whole process of Krishna consciousness is the discipline, is that uncovering, cleaning off that lust. And that's how Mahaprabhu comes here. And Mahaprabhu comes here and teaches us how to be who we are. All of us are devotees. There's no person who's not a devotee of Krishna. It's a matter of time. We think time in terms of hours, minutes, weeks, months, years, decades. But that is insignificant. In the scale of eternity, what is a lifetime? It's not even a fraction, it's not even a lavamatra. Everyone, dear devotees, is a devotee of Krishna. It's only a matter of time. And when we get this human body, this body is the opportunity where that choice we can make. We have a choice that I want to be in my natural condition or I want to continue in this state, the unnatural state. And Mahaprabhu came here so that when that choice is made, help us how to make that choice, what to do with it. Sachirani's brother-in-law, he used to always say in Marathi, those of you who know Marathi, Satyabhama Mataji and others, Mala Dev Bagaicha, Mala Dev. I want to see God, I want to see God, I want to see God, I want to see God. And he had this thing, if anything happens, na, oh, Ramachi Ichha, oh, it is Lord Rama's will. Anything. Oh, Ramachi Ichha, Ramachi Ichha. Always he kept saying, oh, Mala Dev Bagaicha, I want to see God, I want to see God, I want to see God. Pretty pious, goes to the temple, does all the pujas and whatever else it is. So one day, Sachi Rani told him, okay, just imagine you're seeing God. like this, amne samne, in front. For a moment, just imagine you're in the presence of God. Now what? And he became completely bewildered and baffled. His jaw dropped and he was just staring. Because, yes, yes, I want to see God, I want to see God, I want to see God. Okay, you want to see God now. Have you thought that if you see God, what happens next? And that is what Mahaprabhu, the Acharyas, Prabhupada, Guru Parampara, it's not seeing God. It's be in such a way that God wants to see you. We go to the temple, dear devotees, and we take darshan of the deities. But please understand, the deities also reciprocating. They're also seeing us. The deities give us a lot of joy when we see them. What is it that we are doing which will give them joy? So when we come in front of the deity, our whole demeanor, our mood should be, what is it that I can do to serve you and yours? That should be the mood in which we are taking the darshan. Hare Krishna. So, um, coming back to this topic of love, Mahaprabhu has taught us how to be lovers of God. We already know that, we've forgotten to reawaken that. So, Prabhupada's lecture in Vrindavan, in material life, love means taking. In spiritual life, love means giving. Radharani is the greatest giver. She gives herself entirely for Krishna's pleasure. One way to understand it is, if there is a candle and you burn another candle, it loses nothing by giving its light. Similarly, Radharani's love, it's always being distributed. It doesn't diminish. And Mahaprabhu, who's come in the mood of Radharani, he is distributing this here. Take, take, take. That love is infinite. When we talk about mercy, mercy is nothing but how love is expressing itself. It's because Krishna has so much love for us that he overlooks all the faults, so much aparadhs that we do against him and his, so many, knowingly, unknowingly. He overlooks all of that, all the sins, all the anarthas. Why? It's because of love. Krishna loves everybody. Hare Krishna. So, this is a very, very nice pastime of how Krishna actually becomes. Krishna is Sham Sundar, you know that, correct? His color is dark of the rain cloud. How from Sham Sundar he becomes Gaura Sundar. Gaur Sundar is golden. Radharani has a golden complexion. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi. So, like molten gold, that is the color of the complexion of Radharani. So, Gaura Sundar becomes Shama Sundar becomes Gaura Sundar. How does that happen? So, there is this pastime. And many years back, my mother had told this pastime. It's very popular in the Braj area. So, Radharani cooks for Krishna. So she used to go to Krishna's home and cook for Krishna. And Mother Yashoda, very, very fond of Radharani. So, and Radharani is like a sweet, young 12-year-old girl or whatever it is. So she comes one day and Radharani Yashoda Mai takes haldi and she puts it all over her hand. You know that haldi paste? Now, if you know that there is a ceremony in India, before the marriage, the bride and even the bridegroom, uh, they uh, they apply haldi. So Radharani is bewildered. She's saying, Maya, what are you doing? So innocent she is. She doesn't know all these customs and all. So she tells Radharani, nothing. You go and show Kirtida. She'll understand. So uh, Radharani goes, and outside all her gopis are waiting, her sakis. And when they see, they start giggling. Now Radharani is like, why are they giggling? What's going on? So they tell, oh, you know what this means, this, that, tere haath peele ho gaye. Means now you're ready to get married. You're going to get married. So what Radharani does is, no, she goes to this kunda, and she starts wiping all that haldi. If you see, haldi is yellowish golden color, correct? And she starts washing her hands in that kunda. And as Radharani is always thinking of Krishna, and she's absorbed in that thought of Krishna, and she is washing her hands, all that haldi off. And that haldi gets infused, and that mood of Radharani to be immersed in these loving thoughts of Krishna gets infused in that whole kunda. And they go. Now Krishna comes by, and Krishna sees that, Arey, how come this water has become golden color? So Krishna puts his leg, his foot in that, and he gets a jolt. And then he takes another step. So he starts walking in that water. He starts entering that water. He comes, his feet, ankles, shin, knee, thighs, waist, it comes to his chest, neck, comes above, and he's fully immersed. And he has such an experience that Krishna hasn't felt before. And he's going from one end to another end, and all you can see is his peacock feather. That's how it is moving back and forth all over. And when he comes out, Sham Sundar has become Gaura Sundar. So when our acharyas give us this explanation that Krishna has come in the mood, this is how the mood of Radharani is Krishna himself, but in the mood of Radharani. That mood is infused in him. And what is Radharani? She's always distributing love of Krishna, like that candle. She's always distributing that love of Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, through this Nam Sankirtan movement, the Nam Sankirtan movement, Mahaprabhu distributed that same ecstatic love that Radharani possesses. The highest, imagine the highest ecstasy, the highest love that is available to a conditioned soul. And what you have to do is simply chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, dear devotees, to recap, what is it in it? What is it that a sadhaka can learn? What is it? We got all this. So, what can we do about it? One is we should understand that bhakti is not just philosophy. Bhakti is feelings, developing that feeling. You know the 9 stages, correct? Of attaining prema. So we should develop feelings. And when we chant, we should chant with feelings. When we are cooking for Krishna, we should cook with feelings. It won't happen automatically, but through discipline and practice. Okay, I can't chant properly. I chant in such an offensive way. Krishna, at least Radharani, one round, forget one round, at least one bead. Let me chant with feelings. Let me chant with attention. That should be our prayer. And gradually, as long as we have that intention and not mechanically, then a taste will start developing. Hare Krishna. So, this chanting is the doorway to taste. We haven't tasted it, we know about it. We have some idea about what is love, what is the taste of that holy name. And we say, oh, I've been chanting for 30 years, but I still don't have the taste. How will that taste come, Baba? Where is that feeling of when we chant? We do it as a duty because, okay, if you've taken vow, I've taken a vow, I have to do it. That is a step. So, fine, whatever is our conditioning doesn't matter. Continue chanting. Even with aparadha, continue chanting. Prabhupada said it's so powerful, this chanting. Even offensive chanting will bring it to the stage of perfected chanting. And there are certain things that we can do is always be in the um, attitude of servitude, always be in the mood of how can I serve. Don't look at it as doable if able. Whenever an opportunity comes to do seva, look at it as how I can do it in spite of all the odds, all whatever else is there. Things fall in place. Otherwise, there's always something, some distraction, something or the other, some reason which will make us feel good. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I couldn't go for doing a DT service because this. Something or the other will be there. Hare Krishna. So, uh, Krishna has come as Mahaprabhu to distribute this love of Radharani, the highest, whatever is the highest, you can think of it to the lowest. So he is Mahavadanyaya, the most merciful. Hare Krishna. So devotees, please let us try and practice this in our day-to-day life. Doesn't matter what anarthas we have. Doesn't matter whatever has gone by. What we are doing now and what you're going ahead. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much. We have a few minutes. If anyone has any questions or realization or comment.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Damodaran Pranam. Hari Bol Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. So my question is that you already mentioned that feelings, love through the feelings. Can you please explain about the feelings? Feelings is coming from the mind or it is coming from the soul? Can you please explain a little bit more about it?
Yes, Prabhuji. There is this story of a person, and he had a sadhu who was his spiritual master. And it is, we need to be detached, and a lot of austerities he was doing to get detached. Like again, I'll quote my Guru Maharaj Radhanath Swami. The perfection of yoga, Maharaj says, is to get detached. And the perfection of detachment is to get attached. But of course, this person following the instructions detached, and he was trying to get detached, living a very austere life. Oh, I don't want to get detached to this, don't I? Oh, it'll suck me in, all these things, keeping away and all. And his wife of many years died. And his wife died And he was made no difference to him. And he went and announced to his Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, you know, my wife died and I didn't shed a single tear. He wanted to show to his Gurudev how detached he is. And then his Gurudev kind of chastised him. He says, now do one thing, go get married, remarry, and learn to have some feelings for your wife. Because if you don't have feelings for somebody, how will you be attached to Krishna? Feelings are what brings about attachment. So we can have whatever feelings that we have, please understand. The feelings that we have, dear Prabhu, is centered around ourselves. So, whatever feeling I get, whether it is a feeling of anger or joy or love, hate, there are so many feelings that we get, is always centered around me. Always, it's centered around me. As long as that whatever is the payback which is happening to me, as long it is there, it is fine. If not, it is disturbed. So all these feelings are superficial or selfish. Now, the same feelings that we have can be transformed into spiritual feelings. Spiritual feelings come from the heart, and that spiritual feeling is selfless. It is what I can do for that person. So, if I feel love, I'm married, I love my wife. Yes, I have that love for my wife, but there is that element of selfishness in that. This is my wife, and she does for me, and I'm reciprocating back in turn for her. There is the give and take. But as we Prabhupada said earlier, love is only giving. But how can I can't turn a switch on and now it will come from my heart. Of course, poetry and everything, we say, oh, I love you from the bottom of my heart. Those are just expressions, words. But to actually feel that is, it has to be, a person has to be selfless. So if this is my wife and for years we are married, but this marriage is transaction based, if I change my consciousness and I look, this is wife is actually, this is Krishna's family. My son is Krishna's family, my wife, son, daughter, whatever. They are Krishna's family. If I have that consciousness, I start looking at her as Krishna's, part of Krishna's family, not mine, not that possessiveness, not that proprietorship, mine. When mine becomes, then there are demands of mine. But this is Krishna. So, whatever acts I'm doing is, if I have that consciousness, then that feeling from the heart develops. It's not over here, surface level, as you mentioned. So, that is my understanding, Prabhuji, how we can. It would require us being selfless. And selflessness is who we are. But because of our anarthas, we have to practice selflessness. Instead of thinking, what's in it for me? Think more. Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj had said, humility is the highest expression of selflessness. He said that humility is not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking more of the other person. People think humility is a sign of weakness or low self esteem. Person has low self esteem. No, humility is a tremendous strength. It requires strength of your character to keep your ego and arrogance aside. So when I practice this, I think more of the other person. What's in it for that person? So much so, even when I'm chastising that person and giving punishment, It'll be an expression of love because it is, I'm thinking more of how it will benefit this person. So gradually, by making a conscious decision of understanding, that I'm not the proprietor, I'm only a servant of the servant of servant. Very easy to say, I'm Dasa, Dasa, no Das. Many years back, we didn't have a temple. We used to go to Marathi Vishwa, small little community hall, and have our Sunday programs there. And I won't take his name, but he's very, very dear to my heart, like my younger brother. So that devotee, he told me, "Oh, Prabhuji, give me the dust of your feet. I want the dust of your lotus feet, lotus feet." He kept saying that. I said, "Are you nuts? Go take Madhupati Prabhu's or some other Vaishnav. What are you bothering me?" So he used to keep saying, he used to hold me and say, "Prabhuji, I want the dust of your lotus feet. I want the dust of your lotus feet." So I said, "Okay." One day I said, "Okay, come." And I went and I sat on a chair and I removed my socks, put my feet up, and I said, here's the dust. Take as much as you want." And then he started laughing. Ha, you're joking. I said, "No, I'm really serious." Anyway, it was, but the instruction, what it is that, we say things. We say things. Amarendra Prabhu mentioned in his class. I remember this so well. We meet a sadhu and we say, "Oh Maharaj, please bless me." We really don't mean it. We really don't mean it. Please bless me. And Jayadvaita Maharaj in one Bhakti Vriksh, these days to visit the Bhakti Vriksh in the early days. And Maharaj was getting ready to leave. He put on his, you have that cloth bag. And then one devotee came and he offered his blessings and he said, "Oh Maharaj, please bless me." So Maharaj said, looked down at him and he put his hand in his bag and he did this. "Here, take blessings, 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 blessings." Now it seemed funny, but actually, when we are looking for blessings, what Amarendra Prabhu has said is be very, very specific as to what you want. Do not make a general statement and be very, very careful asking what you want. Don't ask a Vaishnav to bless you that everything in your life is okay. These are all material blessings. It means nothing. It will further trap you, further take you away from Krishna. But ask for a blessing which will bring you closer to Krishna. So if we ask the blessings of any Vaishnava, always ask blessings, something which will help you get closer to Krishna. Anyway, I'm sorry I digressed. It went on to you asking a question about feelings. So that is my understanding, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Very nicely you described Prabhu. Thank you Prabhu. Dandavat Prabhu.
Jai Prabhupada. To develop this love, which is dormant, and to reawaken rather, is listening, Shravanam. It's so important. And today we have all the facilities, dear devotees, all the facilities, technology, everything is available. So reading is a form of hearing, or even physically hearing. There are so many lectures of Prabhupada on YouTube. Make it a discipline. Don't say, I don't have time. If it's important enough, time comes. And Prabhupada's lectures are 30 minutes, 40 minutes. When you're going to work or if you're in the train, listen to it. Listen to that. If you're initiated, also very important to listen to your Gurudev's lectures. Of course, there are so many Vaishnavas, you can listen to everyone's Vaishnavas. But from these two personalities, it's very, very important. And just try it. Dear devotees, please try it. Listen to one lecture of Prabhupada and one lecture of your Guru Maharaj every day without fail. Try it out. And then you see the difference in the consciousness, the difference in your consciousness. I'm saying, even if you're just listening, listening should be that with full attention. In one lecture, Prabhupada says he was giving lecture, and then one group was talking over there in the class. Now, how many of us are guilty when lecture is going on? We are talking side conversations are happening. Not only is it disrespectful to the speaker, but it's also being disruptive to those who actually want to pay attention and listen to it. So, Prabhupada, when you're saying, he's saying, what is that talking going on over there? Huh? What is that talking? They're like frogs. Ka, 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 ka. That's what it is. It's all material sound. Frog. A frog has to make sound. But what is he doing? He's inviting death. So at least when we are, in a temple setting, or when a Vaishnava is speaking, he's sitting on the Vyasasana. If not for anything else, even if I'm not interested, as a tapasya, my austerity, my discipline, is to keep quiet. The very least I can do is keep quiet and not have these side conversations. So once we start listening, then that taste slowly, slowly develops and we'll understand. It's very easy to say, oh, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. When Jai, oh, Prabhupada, it's very easy to jump high. But our reciprocation, whom has Prabhupada given the lectures for? Whom has he written these books for? Whom? Those 1965 hippies who are now in their 70s and 80s. And some of them are gurus. He wrote it for them. So, with all this, when we start making it a habit over and above whatever is the vows that we are taken, then there is reciprocation. Then we actually know what is, can get to know what is bhakti. Thank you, dear devotees. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very nice points you mentioned, Prabhuji. We can use this technology. If we make that habit, then it becomes, they say, after 90 days, if you are doing continuously till 90 days, then it becomes automatically by default. And it happens. Once, like, I have habit to listen Prabhupada lecture while driving. Once I start the car while dropping my son in the school or whatever, I was just going in the car. And now that becomes habit. Without that, I don't feel good. I cannot drive also. And one more point you mentioned, Prabhuji, like lecture is going on. It's my personal experience. Every time I really gets irritated. That's why I sit in the front line so that I can hear properly. But the Matajis all the time, I don't know who are there, but they whisper so much. I mentioned Madhupati Prabhuji also. We have to tell these people like, if you don't want to listen, you just go outside and just talk. But whispering makes so much irritation, like bhunga whispers in your ear, and we can that we have to really change Prabhuji, because who really wants to listen what Maharajas are or anybody who are sitting on the Vyasasan, they want to listen, right? We come for like 45 minutes at least, we can hear in person, otherwise we are not getting opportunity, right? So I don't know, but that really irritates Prabhuji. Every weekend, every Sunday, I just think, how come these Matajis, how their children will learn if they are not following the rules? I told them, Srimati Mataji tells them all the time, but I don't know how to, um, like I don't know how to remove that problem. When our etiquette class was there, I mentioned this point.
It will it will remain when each one of us, we can't change anybody except ourselves.
Yeah,
And one looking at this, the only positive thing which can come from this negative thing is it at least teaches us the quality of tolerance and patience.
yeah.
if you pay attention and next to you the other Mataji is paying attention and 4-5 Matajis pay attention, gradually it'll change will uh, come about. Of course, if you have a relation with the Mataji and she is, ta 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 going on and on and on, then if you have a relation, then very nicely you can explain. But to a person, who
I
it
know.
create a problem. Though
Same.
you're right.
Yeah, Madhupati Prabhuji also said, yes, you give a look. And I do that. I
Yeah.
just give a look and they stop that time and next time again they will do. So, but yeah, you are right, Prabhuji. You have to take always positive. Our microphones are already not good. We cannot hear because we are away, right? And more than that, that whispering in our ears, the really difficult to hear, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
I think Simesh must be busy. I know he does DT service after he comes from work. So we'll bring it to a close, dear devotees. We'll chant the Vaishnav mantra. Vanchakalpatarubhya.
Panchakapalabhyascha kripasindhu ev च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
Vaishnav
जय
Yeah.
mantra Chaitanya
जय
Charitamrita
जय
by Gaur Premanandi. Hari.
Hare Bol. Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderful class. Thank you. Hare Bol.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you.